Now, the upper abs connect to the lower abs through the middle abs. I mean, they're kind of all one sheath of abdominal muscles, technically called the rectus abdominis. And you have these separations of connective tissue that form it into a 6 or even an 8-pack in some cases. And that's the linea alba down the center. You have these tendinous inscriptions across the sides, but basically all these little pieces of connective tissue, all these little strands that separate the rectus abdominis sheath of muscle. And to see that, you really need to lose body fat. Everybody has a 6-pack or an 8-pack down deep, but you need to lose the body fat on top of it. This won't necessarily do it, but it's kind of motivating to feel some muscle underneath there. It helps you eat better and do more cardio and do the big muscle groups so you can burn the fat to show the abs. But when you're doing any kind of a chest press or any kind of a pushing motion on push day, you tend to work these muscles isometrically a little bit, especially when you're seated up, you're doing a tricep extension or a chest press out like this. Your upper abs contract just to kind of keep you in position, to hold you forward, especially if you don't have that secure of a seat pad behind you. So I tend to work the upper abs when I'm doing a push day if I'm going to at all separate my abdominal training into 3 different workouts. Okay, so upper abs are typically trained with maybe doing crunches on a physio ball, doing floor crunches. There's all different devices out there that can provide resistance for leaning forward, even if you just place a medicine ball on your head and lift up and down. The problem is abdominal muscles are fairly strong, and you want to fatigue them. The whole purpose of this is to fatigue the abdominal muscles within a certain period of time. It's not necessarily the number of repetitions you do, it's more how much time they're under tension. And you want to fatigue abs in maybe about a minute or so. There's no reason to do countless number of repetitions, sets of 100, sets of, doing 15-minute ab routines. You're not going to spot reduce any more fat. You want to fatigue the muscle. You want to provide a resistance that allows it to fatigue so it can respond. Don't worry about getting your abs too big and too blocky. It's not going to get big like a bicep muscle. They're more of an endurance fiber. But you want to fatigue it probably within about a minute or so of repetitions. And really the only way to do that is to use some kind of a machine that allows you to put resistance on your upper body, so when you push down, the muscle has to work extra hard and it fatigues, and you don't have to do as many. So it's a quick ab training. There's no reason to do multiple sets on this either. You can just really fatigue it, get it over with, and be done with your workout. So this is an upper ab machine. I'm going to place my feet under the rollers just to provide support to the lower body. I want to kind of set myself in stone on the bottom. And remember, abdominals contract from bringing the sternum to the pelvic bone. You want to focus on bringing those 2 bones together. It has nothing to do with hip flexion. You're not bending here at this axis of rotation. You're bending it at an axis just above the belly button. So your lower back's going to be against the pad, crunching down like this. The axis of rotation on the machine, again, on this one is lined up with the red dot, which I'm going to place just around my navel area. It's my belly button, my umbilicus, maybe just a little bit above that. So my elbow's going to be back on these pads to provide resistance throughout the exercise. Now there's different machines that have different ways of providing resistance. You could have rollers or pads on front of the shoulders if you don't want to bring your arms back over your head. There are actually some machines where you can bring your lower body to your upper body while bringing your upper body to the lower body. So it's kind of a simultaneous contraction, uses more of the muscle mass. But this is a fairly common machine, so I'm going to use this one. Elbows on the pads, hands back on the handles, and you want to focus on pulling down with the sternum. So you're bringing the sternum down to the pelvis and not bringing your hips forward. This one has a lot of range of motion. I could bring this all the way forward like this, but I'm starting to bring my lower back off the pad and I'm bending at the hip joint. I'm not really using the abs anymore. So the abdominals, it's a very small contraction, maybe like even only like a 30-degree range of motion, just like a crunch on a table. Anything past that is hip flexors. And you're trying to work only the rectus abdominis. So we're trying to isolate that as much as possible. You can hold on here with your lower body just to keep yourself in place. Come down, breathe out. Hold it just for a second, and slowly back. Getting full stretch in this. You want to go back and actually get a full stretch if you don't have any back problems. Again, waiting until the weights are almost about to touch, and then recontracting. Again, on this one, you're only going to go parallel to the ground. I don't want you to go too far forward, and it's really good if you can hold it there. Hold the contraction for a second or so till all the air is out, and then slowly back. So if you breathe out until all the air is gone, and slowly back, twice as slow as on the way down, you're going to have a phenomenal ab contraction. You definitely don't want to get momentum, and this is a very easy machine to do this on, but don't do it. You're not going to get as good results. You want to focus on pulling your abs back to your spine, lower back against the pad, pulling it in tight, kind of pulling your abs into where you want them to be ultimately. And that's it for the upper ab crunch. There's a lot of different variety, a lot of different ways of doing this, but this is a good standard exercise you can find in most facilities. Remember, 1 or 2 sets is great. You don't have to do countless number of repetitions. You want to fatigue the muscle. Make sure you do not hold your breath on this. This is a thoracic exercise. You can really create a lot of internal thoracic pressure by holding your breath, getting that Valsalva maneuver, changing lots of colors, lots of oxygen and carbon dioxide exchange. That's important too. So that's it for upper abs. Now's the time to do a little bit for the lower back if you want, and to do some flexibility, some stretching exercises, and then you're done with your routine. You don't want to do a lot of exercise after doing abs. You definitely don't want to do other compound movements like squats and chest presses and pull downs. You want to basically save these to the end of the routine. All right, it was nice meeting with you, and we'll see you on leg day.